This is episode number 1, an introduction with my mom, Vickie Siculiano. Enjoy!
Hi, and welcome to the Chronically Empowered Mom podcast. I'm Vickie Siculiano, a motivational coach and an MS warrior. No matter what your challenge might be, I want to inspire you to overcome those struggles and empower you to be the best version of you. I've done some exciting things in my career, including being a nationally recognized certified personal trainer, former jazz vocalist, and I even wrote an Amazon bestseller on smartphone photography. Now, why am I sharing this? So you understand my philosophy on being empowered by being the best you can be. Now let's dive in. Hey everybody, Vickie here. I am so excited to be here podcasting again. My God, 8 years has gone by since I've been behind this same microphone, the Blue Yeti microphone that I used before. And it's just amazing. I can't believe that I feel like I'm ready. And I just want to give you a little information about what you're going to learn in this podcast episode. Number one, I'm going to break down the story of who I am, how I got here. Second, we'll discuss why I'm podcasting again. What the heck is she doing this for, right? And number 3 is I want to let you know what inspires me and then why I want to share that with you. Okay, so we're going to go over some cool stuff. I'm going to share some resources with you because I want you to be a rock star in your own right too. Okay, so first, my name is Vickie Siculiano and I was diagnosed in 2004 with MS. Now, that's when I was officially diagnosed, but I always had trouble walking. I always had back issues, and I never officially had it diagnosed or really knew what the story was. I had some symptoms over a long period of time that kind of were nebulous, and they changed. Like, before I graduated college, I had a drop foot, which means I couldn't lift my foot. I would trip over it, and I couldn't feel my foot. I had numbness, so I fell down a flight of stairs, and for graduation from Baruch College, I actually walked down the aisle in Madison Square Garden where our graduation ceremony was. Pretty cool, but I was walking with a cane. I was lucky I was walking down any aisle. So that's when I had a serious symptom, but it went away. Okay, and that's what happens with a lot of people that have MS. Relapse remitting MS is the most common form. My type is progressive MS. So it's more of a progressive form. It just kind of keeps going down. Originally, they thought that I had relapse remitting, but it converted into this form after the birth of my son. That was in 2015, and that was the last time I was podcasting. I was podcasting before that, and I had a podcast called Smarter Online Marketing. And I went to school for marketing, and I always loved it. I really always loved understanding people and kind of why they buy. And it's just what I loved. It's who I am. So I wanted to podcast because it was really the hip thing to do. And everything was going online. And I was marketing in social media. I was doing websites. And it was the nature of the business that I was in at the time. So it only made sense to go more digital and have my voice kind of everywhere, and I didn't have to physically be there. I could be there 24/7 no matter what device you were listening to. I put that on the shelf after my son was born because I kind of had more symptoms and some mobility issues, had trouble walking. Actually, it was almost impossible to walk after he was born for me. And when he was very little, I used to roll him around on my rollator. I had a booster seat, and I strapped it onto this rollator that I walked with, and that's how I got him around. So where there's a will, there's a way, folks. So no matter what your condition, what your challenge, there's always a way to adapt what you're doing to still be able to do what you have to do, okay? And this is the life that I lived. So I was really learning how to be a new mom, and I was learning how to live in a new body that had progressed, and I just had to stop the podcast. And I actually was working full time, and my boss had given my position away to the company that bought him. So I can't really discuss, I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of that situation, but pretty much I was out of a job, and it actually made sense for me because I wasn't ready to go back there anyway, and I, had no choice but to just hang it up. So move on to the next chapter of my life. Not hang it up like I was going to give up, just I had to move on to another chapter. And that's what happens when you have challenges, whether it's mobility challenges or you have a chronic illness or something that you're managing off to the side and people may not see or realize how sick you may really be. You have to move on. And sometimes it's just putting on your game face and holding your chin up and getting back out there in the game. Okay, so I did that, and I was just focusing on being a mom and learning how to manage everything. And I was able to take him to all kinds of stuff and do all kinds of activities with him. And yes, I walked with forearm crutches, and everybody knew who I was. But the thing about it is that I had a full leg brace that I had to wear because my leg was continuing to get weaker. And I'm going to talk to you about that in another episode, and my decision to actually wear a brace and why I choose not to wear a brace anymore. And it's working out for me, but it's just too long to discuss in the introduction, and it's not really telling you about me and who I am. So just know that I'm a survivor, and no matter what the struggle, you're going to just do what you have to do to move on. And especially if you have a small child, you really want to keep your chin up because you want to be a good role model and have them always know that they should never give up, no matter what the challenge. You should always hold your head up another day, okay? And walk in pretty high up. And even if it's on crutches, don't slump over. Always stand straight up and look people in the eye. Okay, so that's what happened with me in podcasting. And one of the things that triggered it, and I'm looking at it right now on my wall, because I'm podcasting here, right? I'm recording my voice, and then later on I'm going to do all of the editing and uploading to my host, and just like I did before, that did not change. But what changed is this vision board that I have in front of me on the wall. And this vision board has images that inspire me, and they're things that I want to become, people that inspire me, and I'll share more about that. One of these things is a picture of myself and my son. He's on my chest, and I just took a selfie when I had the headphones on, and I was at my desk where I was recording my podcast, and I said, someday I'm going to come back to this, and look at where I am, right? He's going to be on the opening of my podcasts, introducing the episode numbers. So it's pretty special to me to have him a part of it, not just that I'm getting back to the podcasting myself, but also that I'm making him a part of this all. And soon I'll teach him how to edit the podcast episodes and see the whole process. And I know someday he's going to have his own YouTube channel, and probably not in the long distant future. So that's one thing that really inspired me to do this podcast, was that vision board. I put up the picture, I set the intention, and it just sealed itself in my mind that it was going to happen. So, and there's a lot of other pictures on this board, and I'll talk about those, but one of them is this picture of a sunset on a deck by the beach. And that's one thing that I really want to get to. I would really love to podcast, not just here at this desk in a remote location of my house, because I found it as a great place for me to meditate in the morning before I go to the gym at 5 a.m. every day. But it's certainly a place that I want to go to relax and chill and just record podcast episodes. That's the dream of mine. Okay, so this dream came true. I am podcasting again. Whatever happens here forward is icing on the cake. I did it. Okay, I wanted to reach you. I'm happy you're listening. I'm so grateful you're here, and I thank you. So now we can connect, and I'm going to be putting this podcast episode on my website. And after I finish recording this, I'm going to go and create the webpage on my site for my podcast to be hosting the show notes on my website. Okay, so this is going to be found at chronicallyempoweredmom.com/episode 1. Okay, so you're gonna find all of the podcasts on my website with the numbers. Okay, and this is episode 1, the introduction. Okay, and one of the things that I want to share with you is what inspires me. Okay, then I want to share why I want to share that with you. That's the reason. Like, why should you be here? Because I'm so inspired every day. I go to the gym 5 a.m, and I'm inspired even before that with some mindfulness practices that I've adopted from this app called Insight Timer. Okay, INSIGHT Timer, Insight Timer, and I'll put the link to it on my website for you. So you have this app that has like 170,000 different mindfulness practices, meditations, courses, challenges, and some of them are just on simple techniques like breathing. There's yoga on there. There are even practitioners who do live events on there. Look, there's something for everybody, and you find the people that you like and respond to the best. I see who I gel with, and I go to sleep with gratitude, and I wake up with gratitude. And one of the things that I have to say about having more gratitude is it puts you in a total positive mindset. No matter what kind of day I have ahead of me, okay, what I'm thinking, I always frame it, and I think of framing it in a positive mindset. For example, I don't want to walk with crutches. I want to walk just like I see other people walking that I could wish like I could be every day. But it's not going to happen today. It may happen tomorrow. But I have to think of the people that I know with MS and without MS, just with mobility challenges, that aren't even lucky enough to walk up here where I am every day. So it's a matter of how you frame things, and you can just stay in a positive mindset or an awful mindset, and that's your choice. You may not be able to you may not be able to choose your environment, circumstances, but you can choose 100% how you want to react to them. And that's a big way to manage stress in your life. And that stress causes a lot of things that you really don't need in your life. It causes a lot of negativity, and there's nothing you can do with it, nothing positive. So keep your mind in a positive mindset, and you'll move forward like in ways you never thought. Okay, until I started my mindfulness meditation, I would just go to the gym and I would have my shirt kind of loose and not really, proud of who I was, walking with my head up high. I had a full leg brace on. One of them was robotic, so it was a big clunky Terminator looking device, and that may be a perfect device for somebody who can't have full use of their leg and they need a robot in their leg to move them. But 8 pounds on my leg was a lot for me to carry around, and unfortunately it wasn't the device for me, so I had to give it up. But every day you can walk into the gym, you can walk into life with your head high, lucky and thankful for what you have, or you can have an awful attitude and start your day that way. So this is one of the things that I'm going to share with you. I want to share the inspiration that I have. I want to be your inspiration. Okay, I want to give you the abundance that I've gotten from just being so lucky to have this challenge in my life, MS. Yeah, it's a little more than a challenge, but I'm going to call it that because it's something that I have to overcome. There's no cure for MS now, but there's a lot more than there was when I was even born. And that was in the 70s. And, there's a lot more now than they ever had then. The first kind of treatment that they had was steroids. That really didn't stop the progression of the disease. Now I'm very fortunate to be on a drug that stops the progression, or at least slows it down a lot. So I've been doing really well since I've been on my twice yearly infusion of Ocrevus. Okay, and it works for me. So that's the reason that I'm here. I'm inspired every day, and I want to share with you this abundance of kind of joy that I feel. I feel very lucky to be in the skin that I'm in, feeling so positive and upbeat. And why should I hold it all to myself? I've got a lot to pass around. Okay, so now you know why I'm podcasting again. You can see the pictures up on my website, and I'm actually going to try to find a clip of my old podcast, Smarter Online Marketing, just so you can hear what I sounded like back then and the spiel that I used to talk about. A little different than today. So the quote that I want to share with you today, and I want to share a quote in every podcast episode with you, was one that inspired me by Henry Ford. And I actually drive a Ford Edge. So that this Ford Edge is equipped with, modded out with hand controls. So I can't drive with my feet anymore, but I certainly can drive, with my hands. So here's my quote for the day. And with that, I will leave you, and I'll see you again next time. To see a thing clearly in the mind makes it begin to take form. Just think about that. And have an awesome day. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. You were just listening to the Chronically Empowered Mom podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share with someone else and leave a review. For more resources, please check out the show notes. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at chronicallyempoweredmom.com. See you next time.